Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. It's Friday morning. What a week it has been. Started out, we had just received the news of the King's cancer diagnosis. Early in the week, he started his first treatment, I think on Monday. Right away they got to it. And February 6th, on Tuesday, we see Prince Harry flying from LA across the country, across the Atlantic to Britain to come to see his father in light of the diagnosis. And now, there's both sides of the fence on that one. Of course, it's his father. He took the initiative. Look, he flew out to see him. Good for Harry. Everybody else said, oh, it's a photo op. Harry's just, he's just inserting himself in the story. And I mean, both of which are true, really. But, here we go. You want to know what's really going on. Because everybody was surmising. Everybody was speculating what's going on. Harry flies all this way. There's no room at the palaces, no room at any royal residence, and even his friends stood him up. He shows up, meets with the king, and now reports are anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. I mean, people have tracked from the time he was on the ground in England off the plane to the time he left the meeting, somewhere in there. How long did they actually meet? Well, Lady C, who seems to have a pretty good authoritative inside track on a lot of this stuff. I think she said 12 minutes exactly. And then the king and queen had a helicopter waiting at Buckingham Palace to fly them back to Sandringham. And apparently what they're saying is the meeting, the helicopter was scheduled for a certain amount, certain time, and they were actually delayed. They delayed it to meet with Harry, which seems to me that this was so spontaneous that the palace didn't even have time to schedule something in or plan something in. Harry was not scheduled in. I think he may not have even phoned the palace. He may not have even phoned his father. He might have just flew out there, shown up, and, the king's going, look, I've got things to do. His dearest boy seems to have interrupted his plans, and the king seems well enough irritated with Harry's behavior by now that he's like, I'm not having it. He's the king. He could say, call off the helicopter. We're going to be a while. I'll let you know, and sit down and have a real conversation with Harry. It would have irritated the heck out of Camilla, him just showing up like this and demanding a meeting with the king, on the ruse of, oh, poor Papa, after the terrible things he said about Camilla. And of course, she was there. They were planning to leave together to go to Sandringham. So this would have made her very uncomfortable. But, I think Charles just fed up. Like, good grief, you know how things are done. You don't just show up and insist everybody take time for you. It was very inconsiderate, really, in a way. Considering royal protocol and the way they do, he could have phoned and said, look, when is a good time to come out? I can make a plan, come out for a couple days or something like this. Also, that would have satisfied the palace, you know, how when they said, well, if you want security, this, that, and the other, give us some notice when you're coming out. Well, this time he did have police escorts from the airport to the palace and back again. So we know that even in an emergency situation, the palace can act quickly, the police can act quickly, job done. It's not a problem. I don't think the king, given everything that's going on, really wanted to, you know, the circumstances were not good. And who knows what Harry said to him or asked him. We know that when the Queen was dying, Harry was needling her for money, for position, for, you know, we want this, we want that. Needling an old dying woman, and, you know, who knows, maybe, you know, Charles is more vulnerable than ever now. And maybe that's what he's, you know, trying to do. So there's a lot of, it is kind of a double-edged sword. Like, he'd have gotten a lot of flack in the press had he not shown up, because, you know, the Queen invited him and he didn't show up there. So, but, you know, and then now he shows up, well, 15 minutes, and and then he flies away the next day. Well, the point is, nobody wanted to see him, first of all. He didn't meet with any of the other royal family members. He didn't meet up with any friends. Nobody has any time for this guy anymore, because they know what he's up to now. So, a man alone. So, you know, he flew back to LA like first thing in the morning. I think he was on British ground for something like 25 hours. And he flew right home, and we were saying, look at that. He didn't even stick around. He didn't go to Sandringham. He's not trying to make any kind of an effort. It was just a photo op. And indeed, now we find out that Harry, last night, he had to get home. He had to get home Thursday, because by Friday night, he was in Las Vegas, baby. He was in Las Vegas to attend the NFL Honors Ceremony before the Super Bowl, which is this weekend. Big fancy dinner ceremony. He was invited to speak and to present. He presented Cameron Hayward, with the NFL Man of the Year award at the banquet. So high-flying Harry, you know, is it the fact that he made 15 minutes for his father? Or his father said, go, after 12, 15 minutes. Said, I'm done. Get out of here. Either way, Harry, when he went, flew over to Britain. It was something like 9 hours from LA or something. A ridiculous amount of time to spend under 15 minutes with his father, fly home the next morning because he had a glitzy banquet to attend. And that's his life now. That's his, you know, he didn't mention his father. He didn't mention anything that was going on. He was laughing and joking and living it up with, you know, it's appalling. So we know by that he already had that banquet scheduled. His showing up in Britain was nothing more than a glorified parking lot photo op that Meghan does, and, you know, Harry's done now a couple of times. That seems to be what they do. He even let BACKGRID know his plans. The photographs of Harry, BACKGRID. It was another, just the same damn thing they always do. Staged photographs. This was a photo op. He had to insert himself into the situation to keep himself relevant, make it look like, even though he's doing, glitzy Hollywood things, he's still, in there with the royals, which he's not. I mean, nobody spoke to him. Nobody wanted him around. Nobody offered him a place to stay. He is a true outcast now, no matter how much he tries to insert himself in the story. And his behavior now and whipping back, 25 hours back on a plane to get home so that he can attend a glitzy ceremony and dinner. Shame on Harry. Such an asshole. Have a great day, everybody. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.